Beautiful beaches, vibrant festivals and strong bullfights are what people often mention when talking about Spain. But just like any other country, this one also has its share of peculiarities, odd laws and absurd customs that don't exist anywhere else in the world. From the prohibition of going topless, to not asking others about their schedules to the crazy rules at the dining table, I will show you 14 prohibited laws and the weirdest things happening in this famous country. Number 14. Going topless is illegal. We are all familiar with the sight of shirtless guys walking around in beach cities, but in an island and a famous tourist city in Spain, you will be heavily fined if you do this. Specifically, in Palma de Mallorca, Spain, individuals going topless in the city center will be fined 820 USD. What makes it even more absurd is that this city is located right next to the coastline, and guys immediately after swimming from the beach have to put on their shirts immediately if they don't want to be held back by the police. The police here say that going topless in public is an inappropriate action in the national culture. Especially in public places, it is considered uncivilized, disrespectful to others, and not suitable for the social environment. In most cases, this can cause discomfort or disgust to those around. Therefore, they cannot let shirtless guys, let alone girls wearing bikinis, walk around inside the city. The logic of the police is quite reasonable, but this regulation really surprises many tourists because the city is right next to the coastline, and they are fined as soon as they step onto the beach. Number 13. Prohibition on hanging men's and women's underwear on the same clothesline. If you plan to live in Spain, even hanging laundry requires careful attention. That's because there's a bizarre unspoken rule in this country. You're not allowed to hang men's and women's underwear on the same clothesline. Hanging men's and women's underwear on the same clothesline is considered disrespectful to privacy and the difference between genders. Some people may feel uncomfortable or offended, especially in rural areas of Spain. This practice may be deemed inappropriate and impolite. Parents don't want their children to see adult underwear hung together like this, which could lead to premature misconceptions. Therefore, instead of habitually hanging them together, it's advisable to choose separate clotheslines for men's and women's underwear to respect privacy and ensure that it doesn't cause discomfort to others. Of course, every household in Spain typically has 2 or more clotheslines to ensure compliance with this principle. Number 12. Prohibition on adding seasoning to food when dining at restaurants. In Spain, no matter how difficult the food may be to eat, you are not allowed to add any seasoning to make it easier. It sounds unpleasant, but it's a strict rule in this country. You can add salt to your food, but asking for pepper, tomato sauce, or other seasonings will make you look like a demanding guest in the eyes of the Spanish. Even changing the taste of the food cooked by the host is considered an offense. Moreover, in Spain, asking for a doggy bag for leftovers is not common and will draw attention, where you may receive a curious look from the waiter. In addition, tipping is also a very sensitive issue. Although tipping is a gesture of generosity and gratitude towards your server and the restaurant in Spain, locals may leave a tip, but not always, and never too much. They usually happily leave a few coins only when satisfied with the service. Remember these points well, as they will help you avoid many troubles when visiting the country. Number 11. Prohibition on discussing religion. Spain is an open-minded country where all religions are welcomed like friendly guests. Therefore, you should not have any attitudes or words that discriminate against religions in this country. For Spaniards, not discussing religion and not discriminating between religions are basic principles of respect and cultural diversity. This helps to avoid discrimination and conflicts over religion while promoting consensus and peace among different religions. You will be questioned by the police immediately if there are any inappropriate behaviors regarding religion, especially speaking ill of other religions. The Spanish government has regulations on respect and non-discrimination based on religion, so don't think you'll escape the consequences. However, this does not mean that discussing religious issues honestly and consciously is impossible. Talking about religious values and beliefs can be part of cultural discussion and exchange as long as it is done with respect and careful consideration for others' views. Number 10. Mandatory siesta. If you didn't know, Spain is considered the cradle of the world siesta culture. In this country, people can take a nap for a few hours at noon, sometimes even until late afternoon. Compared to many countries around the world, the working hours in a day for Spaniards are longer, sometimes extending to 9 or 10 in the evening, due to the long siesta habit that has been formed over many centuries. The Spanish siesta can last up to 3 hours, so afternoon activities are often pushed back until late at night because of this. Lunch for Spaniards may start at 5 in the afternoon, while dinner usually begins at 11 p.m., which is also the peak time for TV programs. Even past midnight, the streets remain lively and people are still busy. According to historical records, the siesta originated from the Spaniards themselves. Some even jokingly say that the siesta culture of Spaniards could be listed as intangible heritage of humanity. Except for major cities like Madrid or Barcelona, where shops and service centers remain open throughout the afternoon, in many other places, the streets are deserted during this time, sometimes until the end of the afternoon. Shops in Spain usually close for a siesta from 2 to 4 hours, while many university canteens do not serve lunch until 12:30 p.m. or 1 p.m., because this time is considered too early. Number 9. No flip-flops allowed. Flip-flops are the #1 choice when heading to the beach, but in Spain, you will be fined if you wear this type of footwear. Spain prohibits city citizens and tourists from wearing flip-flops, citing safety reasons for themselves and others. Wearing flip-flops and driving is considered very dangerous in Spain. Additionally, wearing these shoes can make people prone to falls or health issues. They cause the foot to collapse, affecting posture and gait, which can lead to significant stress on the feet and the rest of the body. Furthermore, the imbalance can increase the progression of latent foot deformities such as bunions and hammer toes, and lead to painful conditions related to excessive pronation, such as plantar fasciitis and Achilles tendinitis. This imbalance can then shift upwards, affecting other parts of the body such as the knees and back. For all these reasons, Spaniards stay away from this type of footwear, and if you wear them in Spain, you will receive many curious looks. If encountered by the police, you may even be detained to change your shoes. Number 8. Eating 5 meals a day. We often only eat a maximum of 3 meals a day, and that's enough to make an average person feel full. But in Spain, they eat up to 5 meals a day and eat to their heart's content until they are full. It may sound like a made-up story, but it's true. Meal times in Spain are usually fixed, with breakfast in the early morning from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. Breakfast usually consists of bread and fruit instead of eggs or bacon. Lunch is usually around 2 p.m., but there will be a light meal between late morning and lunchtime. Spaniards often have dinner quite late, around 9 p.m., but don't worry about feeling hungry because there's always a merienda, so you end up eating 5 meals in one day. Spaniards believe that mealtime is an occasion to savor and enjoy delicious food. Therefore, you rarely see Spaniards eating sandwiches at their desks, or having bocadillos on the bus, subway, or even while walking down the street. They eat very leisurely and rarely leave food behind. Number 7. Pets considered citizens. People in Spain love animals, and in many places they even consider animals as citizens of the country. The town council of Trigueros del Valle, with a population of over 300 people in the Castile and Leon region, has agreed to grant equivalent rights of humans to dogs and cats. Dogs and cats have been living with us for over 1,000 years, and the mayor must represent not only humans, but also other entities. This initiative is one of the efforts to protect animals from being treated violently, as well as to recognize their important role in the agricultural town. In addition to its symbolic meaning, the town will also be responsible for abandoned dogs and cats and condemn their owners for animal abuse. Not only are pets considered citizens, but they can also go to church to receive blessings like religious believers. Dogs, cats, rabbits, and even turtles in their finest outfits have flocked to churches in Spain on the feast day of Saint Anthony, the patron saint of animals. These images truly show how much people in this country love animals, and pets here are truly living a very good life. Number 5. Tomato throwing. Bathing in over 100 tons of tomatoes each year is one of the things that Spaniards and tourists love the most. This is an interesting thing that you definitely don't want to miss when visiting this country. The La Tomatina Festival is the largest fruit-throwing festival in Europe, held on the last Wednesday of August in the town of Buñol, Valencia, Spain. This year's festival attracted over 40,000 participants from all over the world, with 40 tons of tomatoes turning the town red. The festival is now 70 years old since it started in 1945. The event takes place from 10 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock in the morning. Someone hangs a piece of grilled meat on a tall pole, and the tomato battle begins when someone takes that piece of meat. People are encouraged to wear gloves to protect themselves and must crush the tomatoes before throwing them at each other. No one is allowed to carry sharp objects, and tearing off someone else's clothes is prohibited. During the week of the festival, there are many fun activities, music programs, and fireworks to serve the people. The night before the festival, residents and tourists can participate in a cooking contest, with the prize being a mixed paella dish, a famous traditional dish of the Buñol region. The festival atmosphere is truly amazing, but the amount of wasted tomatoes along with the enormous amount of waste it brings also makes it heavily criticized. Number 4. Flamenco Dance. We've talked about bulls, tomatoes, and of course we can't overlook the incredibly captivating flamenco dance of Spain. Flamenco is considered the hallmark of Spanish culture. Spaniards have a deep love for music, dance, and particularly the fiery and alluring flamenco dance. Flamenco is a genre of music and dance originating from Andalusia, Spain. Flamenco music is characterized by fast-paced passages and intricate details, typified by the rapid and even flicking of the right fingers when playing flamenco guitar. The exact origins of flamenco are unclear, but it became popular in the 19th century and is often associated with European travelers. The flamenco dance is a fusion of the dances of the Gitanos, combined with Arab dance and folk music from the Andalusian region. The distinctive features of flamenco dance include unique postures, clapping or snapping, and the rhythmic tapping of feet on the dance floor, usually wooden. Travelers to Spain can enjoy this dance anywhere in the country. The themes of flamenco dance often revolve around God, women, and love. Dancers tap their feet on the ground and snap their fingers to produce rhythmic sounds and express the lively dance with their gestures. Flamenco music and dance embody the distinctive style of Spanish culture more than any other art form. Amidst the echoing sounds of the guitar, beautiful Spanish women dedicate themselves to delivering passionate and fiery dances to the delight of tourists. Alongside dancers and musicians, female directors convey emotions through performances and provide audiences with the latest insights into the art of flamenco. This mesmerizing, graceful dance is often compared to the dance of birds. There are over 50 different song styles called palos, each of which is passionate and intense. The most important aspect of this dance is the combination of decisive foot stomps, swirling skirts, clapping, and tapping shoes to the beat. Flamenco is often performed at weddings or important events. Number 3. National Anthem without lyrics. Football fans all know that almost all teams participating in tournaments enthusiastically sing their national anthems with their fans before or after matches. For each team, singing the national anthem has become a spectacular display of national spirit and determination. But oddly enough, the Spanish team doesn't. The stars of La Roja usually rely on each other, staying silent, at most murmuring to themselves as they listen to their country's national anthem. Of course, they don't sing not because they don't want to, but because Spain's national anthem has no lyrics. Spain's national anthem does have a version with lyrics by playwright and poet Eduardo Marquina, but the people of this country are not satisfied and want a better anthem. In 2008, when preparing for the Summer Olympics in Beijing, a committee was formed consisting of historians, music historians, writers, lawyers, and Olympic champions to compose a new anthem that all the people of this country could unanimously sing out loud. In the end, nearly 7,000 lyrics were submitted, among which the poem by Paulino Quo, an ordinary citizen living in the capital Madrid and unemployed at the time, was chosen. However, many still believe that this anthem falls short and somehow reminds the people of Spain of the dark years of Franco's dictatorship, rather than making the whole nation proud and holding their heads high while singing. Number 2. Human tower building. You may have seen towers made of stone, concrete, or steel, but have you seen towers built of people? That's what happens in Spain during the largest human tower competition ever held. The Human Tower Competition, or Castells, was recognized by UNESCO as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity in 2010. This tradition was evaluated by UNESCO as an integral part of the cultural identity of the Catalan region. This tradition dates back to the 18th century when people first began to build human towers in the town of Valls in Catalonia. The competition takes place every 2 years where tower builders compete to find the team that builds the tallest and most complex human tower by standing on each other's shoulders. The winning team's tower can reach up to 10 floors, about 13 meters high. This result is evaluated as a combination of height and exquisite skill, including safely moving after completion. The competition always sees some towers wobble before collapsing, and members of the tower can fall below and receive many dangerous injuries. However, there have been no deaths reported after such competitions. Number 1. Salt Hotel. Do you believe that salt can be used to build a hotel? If not, then come with me to Salar de Uyuni in southwestern Bolivia, the largest natural salt flat in the world, and the location of the Palacio de Sal, meaning Salt Palace in Spanish. True to its name, everything inside the Palacio de Sal, from the walls and floors to the interior furnishings like beds, wardrobes, chairs, and even the swimming pool, is made of salt. Apart from being made from this special material, this hotel provides all the amenities that guests need, no less than ordinary hotels. The hotel has a total of 30 rooms with an area of about 4,500 square meters. Standard or VIP rooms are impressively decorated and have the characteristic vaulted roofs of the hotel. All rooms are equipped with heating and hot water systems. Guests looking to relax can visit the hotel's spa, which offers dry saunas, steam baths, and a saltwater pool. However, anyone staying at the hotel must adhere to one rule: no licking the walls. This rule is enforced very strictly, but out of curiosity, many still break it nonetheless. They are only warned, which makes it quite intriguing.